8 with peeing. All right, let's get to the stream. Today's Friday stream. Got lots of stream too. Mo, can I help you? He's looking at himself in the mirror, just meowing. He's like, I'm the most beautiful creature I've ever seen in cat. He doesn't speak English. He only speaks cat. Mo, come here. Come here, kitty. You want some attention? He thinks there's a whole other world on the other side of that mirror, and he's always disappointed when I open the door to find there's just a garage. Ah, it's a long story. We reenact that every day. Okay, now he's gonna sulk for a while. Well, it's just kind of cat life around here. Let's see, what do we got? We got our backdrop going. We got the lights are on. We got the computer booted up. We got the live stream living. We're streaming on YouTube. We're streaming on Twitch. We're also streaming on those two. And just like the regular kind of thing that I like to do on a Friday. I'm looking forward to today's stream just because it'll be relaxing. Just start up one of my many dozens or hundreds of planes that I have in my fleet and go anywhere in the world I happen to feel like I have no idea where it's going to be. Fly around for 45 minutes. Maybe we'll do a couple missions if I feel like it. Maybe I'll fly I don't know, gosh, there's so many planes I want to fly today. It's crazy. Oh, and then there's going to be the big brain games today. This is the guitar I played on Wednesday, I believe. Big brain games. We'll do a little bit. Hey, when is the next episode of Skibbity Toilet coming out? Anyway, it's not guitar day, so it is Ken's Piano Lounge day. So after the break, I'll be dragging my piano and sitting over there, slapping it right down here like always. And we're going to play Ken's Piano Lounge typical music. I got like stuff on me. I was eating earlier. But yeah, it will be a nice, relaxing, I'm not going to say boring stream, but maybe hopefully relatively uneventful. We got to get into the Microsoft Flight Simulator, though. We're in the category. You can see I've got the opening window up. I've got the beautiful blue Bluetooth controller. Oh yeah, I haven't even done the introductory items here. I've got a freshly poured glass of Diet Coke in a with ice. All right, look. Go to the store and buy some right now. Buy more than you need. Buy a 10-year supply. And that's a lot. I'm just trying to support my favorite company, the Diet Coke Corporation of America. All righty then. My favorite company. I mean, they're good at what they do. You got to admit. All right, what's our flying thing here? So, okay, all right. I was yesterday, because I fly even on the days off, I flew the P-38 Lightning, and today we're going to do it again. Let me just spruce up the outside of it. Because you weren't here yesterday. You know what I mean? I was. All right, we're going to do, let's see. That one's not so good. I really do like California Cutie. And it's got kind of cool, kind of black and white. Here, I'll come in a second. It's loading it from the, there you go. Yeah, it's a good looking one. All right, take me back. But where? I don't know. That's the next choice. At least for the first mission. Gotta fly somewhere. Oh, yeah, so we didn't fly. We flew over one of the Canary Islands that I wanted to fly over. This one here. That's the biggest one, I think. Tenerife. But we didn't fly over Gran Canaria, which is where I wanted to. Which, So maybe we'll continue that. Because there's the opportunity to take off and then land. Maybe we'll fly around clockwise and then land. That might be fun. All right. Plus, we're going to cold start it. Ramp. We'll start at let's just say one of these medium ramps. Because we are cold starting it. Yeah, we don't need a destination here. But I also want to, hey, good evening to you. How you doing? Good to see you again. And I'm going to maybe later also fly the Osprey because I do want to land. We talked about a mission where I would take off from land and land the Osprey like a helicopter on an aircraft carrier. And I loaded my aircraft carriers up, and we haven't even checked those out in detail. They're really cool. So there's a lot of potential content today, but for some reason, I want to have a nice, relaxing island flight in my P-38 Lightning, which is a World War II era fighter. It's a it's double engine, but single seat. So that's why it's a fighter. It doesn't really have room for bomber and that kind of thing. Okay, hopefully this is working. Let's see if this is going to work. All right, there's this beautiful, there it is, the California Cutie. I'm not 100% sure that is Twitch safe there, so we're not gonna work, look at the graphics too much, or YouTube safe. But you can see it's a very unique design with the tail, the twin engines sitting forward of you. They're flapping away in front of you, and the tail boom having twin tails. Well, we'll see that later. Let's get inside and get started up here. All right, this is what it looks like from the inside. You can see it's got a very well worn cockpit here. Okay, I'm gonna adjust these. All right, so this is the throttle. That is those red ones. This is the propeller control, which we keep kind of low, and then the mixture controls up there. And I'm using my throttle body to activate those. Okay, we got the windows there. With the radio is there. I'm gonna turn this off so we can see where the battery master is here. So battery is on. All these stay on here. We close these, the generators. But the next thing we need to do is to set, okay, that's what that looks like. It's got this great old style cover. Okay, we're going to set our magnetos, both to on, and there's a master magneto ignition. Next is the fuel system, which is down here. So your fuel pump master switches go on, and these get set to main. Left and right both get set to main for now. It does have a completely manual, what's this thing here, Landier term, a completely manual fuel system, which means we will have to monitor fuel and possibly change tanks, I think. I don't think there's a pump system, but maybe there is. One of these may be a fuel pump system. Low fuel test. I don't even know what some of these do. What's here? We'll figure out when we get it. All right, it's time to start thinking about starting these big engines here. Those there. We're going to start with the let's see which engine we're going to start with. All right, we're going to start with the right engine, kind of a tradition with planes. Hopefully I'll get this right. Okay, so okay, this is on, right? Yeah. All right, so we're going to do let's see, prime the right engine, and you do that for 2 seconds, and then right engine start. So we're going to pull this down, hold that to speed, let the right engine starter spin up. And then hold this down, and if we did it right, we'll hear a sound, and you hear that unfortunately you can't really see. Big puff of smoke comes out. Right engine starts up quite nicely. Repeat for the left engine. So the left engine, first we're going to prime it. 1,000, 1,000. Now we push the starter the other direction to start spinning up the left engine starter system. Hold that for a few seconds. And then jam the left engine to start. I hear something. Nice. We have 2 engines start. Let's just get some lights on here. Lights don't need it. Everything is good here. There's your 2 engines flapping around there. Looks pretty good. Let's see, is the radio on? Yeah, radio's on. We're on Gran Canaria. It's an island. We're just gonna depart straight out for now. All right, so there's that, just that there. I'm not sure. I really need to push back from here. I think we'll be okay. Oops. If I need to push back, I'll let you know. It's gonna go a real kind of a jerky little. This is kind of a maximum turn here.
Contact tower on 118 decimal tree when ready.
It's gonna work.
Taxi 2 and hold short runway 21. Left using taxiway. Romeo 12 Golf Romeo 8 Romeo.
Excuse me, sir. Red turns that way. It's fine. All right, we're gonna fly Gran Canaria. It's late in the afternoon. Weather looks beautiful. I think we're gonna stick with real-time weather. So, oh yeah, we gotta slow down here. One thing I forgot to do is you can damage the canopy by flying with it up. So we're closing the canopy by going at more than a certain speed. So you want to lock the canopy. If you don't, it will fly off. And the other thing is, it's kind of hard to remember. I always forget is there's these big windows, because these are kind of where you get in and out of the plane.
Kinch 9er,
Oops.
hold position, caution other traffic.
I'm not really that concerned about the traffic.
Kinch 9er, continue taxi.
Well, yeah, it's all good.
Roger.
So now that we have the canopy button down, we can continue our taxi. We're gonna do a little bit of adjustment of the flaps and trim control before takeoff. But other than that, we're ready to go.
Gate Mike 1, Information Quebec. Request pushback.
Getting some other. This is a pretty busy international airport. I was saying Gran Canaria is a major resort and tourist destination for European travelers. These islands are owned by Spain, have always been. Apparently there was never an indigenous population there. It was colonized by Spain a long time ago.
Requesting pushback.
We may have to turn off the radio so we don't get a lot of spurious radio traffic.
No pushback tug is available to answer your request.
No pushback tug. Boy, we got problems at this airport. Okay, where are we going? We're going to the other... Which runway? I think, yeah, there's two parallel runways, and they're both really long.
Gran Canaria ground.
So it's moving us to the left runway here.
Gran Canaria ground, NISA 582.
So you can see those giant propellers spinning in front of us. It's a very unique kind of ride because of the way the propellers are right in your face. Okay. Let's see. Turn the tower. Hopefully they'll let us take off. Visual flight rules is good. Okay, as I was saying, the flaps down to there, and just a little bit of positive trim is needed around there. Looks like we're ready to depart on 21L. Where? Let me see. Hold on. It wants us to hold. Look, this could take a while. Yeah, that's gonna take a while. All right, I'll acknowledge Horde Show. We're gonna take off. It's gonna have us sit in the ground for several minutes, and I find that kind of boring. So you can see how far off that plane is. It's like a 5-minute wait. That's realistic, but we're gonna take off anyway. It's realistic to wait for the other traffic to land, but we're not gonna. It's gonna say you were not cleared for taking off. All right, full power. Full power to the warp nacelle, Scotty. I always say that. Let's see, what's our speed? 99, 100. We're looking good. We want to come off the runway. We got a little wind, a little crosswind here. You are not allowed to take off. Here comes the gear. The gear comes up. It's got that little weird jerk there. We weren't clear to take off, but we're having a good old time anyway. We're going to check out the island. Is it too late? I don't know. It should be okay, because I can adjust the time.
ATC services terminated. Good day.
Good day to you, too. All right, so this is kind of the city, I guess. I don't know where the city is, but I wanted to go the other direction. So I wanted to go head up north. I think we can circle basically this whole island, but we're going to go in the other direction.
Rolling tree 002. Turn next taxiway.
And then land just as we on the other airport, which is kind of close to us now, but we're going to go the long way. So this is the Gran Canaria's Island main international airport, and it's a big one. They can handle a lot of tourists on this island. It's I guess roughly the same size as the Hawaiian Islands. All right, so now we're going to do some adjustments of our indications here to get our manifold pressure. Everything should be in the green in terms of RPM. We got some RPM gauges. I'm gonna turn off this yoke temporarily. And we don't need that. So you can kind of see the instruments here. I'm just checking things like, okay, fuel pressure is good, manifold pressure, RPM is in a good range, manifold pressure is in a good range. There's 2 engines. These are fuel indications, which should be good on. Okay, I'm reducing mixture to attempt to create the most efficient realm. Okay, we want that right around there. And we will be able to achieve a solid 200 knots, which is pretty good for a propeller plane. It was definitely one of the faster planes of its time. Because, you know, a lot of propeller planes would max out right around 150 or 180 knots. So it's going to be kind of dark on this side, but we should hit the... Oh, what's that say there, by the way? Yeah. Telde. That's just the name of the nearest town, I think. But there's lots of towns. And then there's presumably there's... not right around here, but presumably there are, you know, hotels and resorts all along this coast. We want a little bit of negative trim here. We got tons of fuel. But you can see, you know, it's like Hawaii. It's like the big, you know, the major island of Hawaii. They got freeways. They got traffic. Looks like a shopping mall over there. I'm gonna try to stay nice and low. I'm too high. I want to see the, you know, I want to see the topography quite well. It looks very dry and kind of barren here on this part, but I'm sure it's a very, it's an island that gets a lot of rainfall. Hello, good to see you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm continuing the Canary Islands because we flew around Tenerife, which is the other island, but I wanted to get to the Gran Canaria Island, which is this one. And I always enjoy flying my P-38 Lightning. It's a World War II era twin-engine fighter. Got a lot of manual controls. There's no autopilot. Got to learn how to fly it. And it's a tricky startup sequence. You can't, if you overprime the engine, you're kind of out of luck. It's that kind of situation. All right, this one says La Palmas del Gran Canaria. So the Palms, I mean, but is it a... Oh, look how many people live here, though. Not getting all the buildings affected here, you know, really. Yeah, this is kind of a, looks like a major city here. And you got a, oh, we're going to head up there. I want to see, it looks like a lighthouse out there. But I want to see what this says, anything. But we're going to sail all around. We're going to encircle this island. It's not that huge, and I think we'll be able to do it in about 15 minutes at the speed. But yeah, we're going to fly around today. I don't know. Okay, oh yeah, there's this wharf here. And a lot of, I mean, because, you know, it gets a lot of cargo. I wonder if all this cargo is heading to the, you know, these islands, or if it's just a port of call to the Atlantic, which is, you know, we're in. We're off the coast of Africa, but again, these islands are owned entirely, all of them are owned by Spain. I just want to see if this is a lighthouse or is this an oil rig? I'm trying to think, maybe this is an oil rig. We're gonna check it out. Looks like an oil rig. A drill, yeah, definitely. It's pretty detailed. I like it. I don't think I've seen this before. This one is pretty cool. I mean, I haven't seen this before, and this has got some features, so we're gonna check it out. It's got these burn-off pipes. You know, they get, if it's drilling for oil, there's usually excess gas in the that needs to be burned off because you don't want the gas, you want the oil. But then you got all these things going on. You got your radar. You got stuff flying around. This is one of the more detailed locations I've seen in the game. You got, these are, in a case of emergency, you get in those, and you know, they can carry like 60 or 80 people each. You got a helicopter landing pad, which we should take advantage of. Oh, and this is the Borgland Dolphin. Wow. Somewhere in South Dakota. Yeah, well, thank you. Good to see you. I randomly went into the Gran Canaria Islands. I'm like, well, what's that over there? And I found the most detailed. I mean, look at all these like cable holders and drums of stuff. The most detailed oil drilling platform I've ever seen. I mean, obviously, this is a model of something that was designed to really represent. Got another. It's called a Borgland Dolphin. I want to check something on my Google. Real quick, is this a real thing? If I type this in, because I've never heard of it, you'd think. Borgland Dolphin. What does you have to say about it? It's a semi-submersible offshore drilling rig owned by Dolphin Drilling, built in 1977, significantly upgraded in 1999. Designed for harsh environments, blah, blah, canceled. Recently had a letter of intent for it. Blah, blah, blah. And they're talking about the contracts. But yeah, that's what it looks like. Exactly. It's pretty amazing. All right, let's get back in. Everyone back in the plane, use your magical parachutes. And we'll make the time happen again. But it's pretty wild. And at night, I think those flames are going to be even more dramatic coming out of there. But I'm glad we checked it out. I'm already, you know, something I haven't seen before. I might have to turn off the radio because we're getting a lot of local radio traffic. Ah, that Diet Coke really hits. It was kind of expensive in the store. I mean, like, there was definitely cheaper beverages to purchase. But we're going to be traveling into the sun for a little bit here. Okay, this is, okay, so you got your port. This is your industrial area. Storage of chemicals. Something up here, which almost looks like a military. I'm sure Spain operates military things. Some cool views and vistas off of whatever that is. All right, let's head west. Again, it's not the biggest island in the world, but we're going to try to circumnavigate it. But this will be the last time we're going to be traveling to Gran Canaria Islands in a while. The sun is just about to set. I left real time on, I believe. I'm going to double check that. But if I remember correctly, real time is on. Oh, and live weather. Didn't put it there, but yeah, that's actually is the live weather. Okay. Of course, a beautiful day. And this place is tropical. It gets hot. It's hot a lot, which is why they, why it's for people who like the hot weather. Because it's well south of any part of Spain, and Spain is already one of the most southernmost European countries. I think Italy gets a little further south. I guess from the Western European. Anyway, okay, what does it say? Let's head to that point of interest. We're gonna have to try to get in the shadow because we got like the sun in our eyes here. We'll probably be landing right after sunset. All right, so in the town. Let's look down here so we don't have to stare into the sun. Just trying to see what kind of thing. Again, lots of hillside living, perched on the hillside kind of living. And while there are beaches, I don't think the entire island is ringed by beaches or anything. But it seems like there's definitely a lot of interesting terrain. We were looking at Tenerife, and it has a lot of small volcanic cones, cinder cones. Arucas, okay, kind of cool looking. And it's got all those traffic circles, so it's European. Lots of traffic circles. All right, pretty much after we get around this, we're going to start heading south. Right now, we're still heading directly west. And then we got about another 10 or 15 minutes to see. Does it? I'm screwed then, because I've been drinking it every day for my entire life. You know what I mean? It's too late to stop doing something you've already done 10,000 times. But, yeah, I'm screwed. But, it is what it is. I think we're all screwed. Oh, that's a great looking road. Look at that road kind of twists around there. Yeah, I mean, that's my attitude. Of course, it's not good for you, but at this point, I'm already screwed if it's not. It's like, is drinking coffee good for you every day? Well, if it's bad for you, I'm screwed. It is what it is. I've had a good life. I've had a good run. And I'm not going anywhere. Okay, we got one of these great roads that goes right from bridge to tunnel. Because it's got all that, all this terrain to cover. That's like in Sardinia. Has a belt road that's really heavily engineered. This one looks pretty cool. We're too high up. I can barely see the cars from up here. Yeah, right. My body is built up either my body is built up resistance, or it's just basic. It's all over for me. It's one of the two. But and cheers. I do things that are worse and less healthy, and So far, I'm still here. That's a cool place. We got radio towers on the top of this shield right here. What is this called? Gaidar. G-A-R. Is that what it says? Galdar. G-A-L-D-A-R. Galdar. So that's this community here. And again, built on the side of a volcano. Yes, I am an e-girl aficionado. When I travel next month in October, I'll be going to TwitchCon for the 4th time in a row. And, of course, the e-girls will be present. All right, see that beautiful sunset there? Isn't that gorgeous? So we were on the other island. You could see Tenerife over there. So I believe it was just Wednesday, I think, or Monday. One of those days we flew all around Tenerife. And I was like, well, we should fly across, which isn't a bad thing. This is Gran Canaria Island. Tenerife has a much taller mountain. You can see that mountain. Kind of see that mountain there. It's hard to tell, but that's a really tall mountain. I think that's one of the tallest mountains. Basically, it's the tallest mountain in Spain because we're on a Spanish territory. I don't really fly IRL, no, but I've been flight simulatoring since Microsoft Flight Simulator came out, which is over 40 years ago. So, I mean, I feel like, I know something about flying, but in the real world, I would not be that good at it. And again, mainly because I think I don't really know how to do radio traffic, you know, talk on the radio and do stuff the legal way. And that's a huge part of your training. But in terms of simply, how do you operate the plane? Can you take off? Can you land? Yeah, I could probably do that. What are we looking at here? I'm just checking my instruments here. And the most thing I do want to check is the fuel load. It's actually easiest to check it from here. How are we doing on fuel? I think I got extra fuel. We click here. You can see, yeah, okay, we're looking at we're using the left and right main tanks currently, but we have like a ridiculous amount of fuel. In fact, we have too much. I'm gonna reduce the fuel. Can I do this? No, because I don't need the fuel over here, and we're too heavy to land. So we're gonna go here, and we're gonna wish they would. I guess you can probably just enter a 0. Suck all the fuel out of this. We're just gonna do it to get lighter, and then you have to do load aircraft. Oh, there you are. Be a little bit lighter. Good to see. I don't know what kind of plane you're in. I don't know if you can see this one. Wow, these the switchbacks and stuff on this mountain are really wacky. There's like a pilot simulator as opposed to flight simulator. Yeah, you know, I mean, you know, there are real pilots who fly the simulators and do an actual simulator. Yes, I mean like one of the, yes, you can get rent time in a flight in a simulator, and I'm sure there are around, you know, the kind that move that are, you know, that jet pilots or, you know, commercial pilots train on. Yeah, you can, for a couple $100 an hour, whatever, you can do it. I probably would enjoy it. It'd probably be an interesting experience. But I don't fly the jets that often anyway, because I don't find them that interesting. Okay, this is a city called La Aldea del San Nicolas. La Aldea. I'm not sure what an aldea is, like some kind of valley or something like that. It's really pretty. Yeah, this is a fun area for bush planes, but there's not a lot of airports. But it is very kind of, it has this cool, there's this inland part, which has these canyons, and then there's this beach part, which has all the resorts. But I want to head south. We are heading south. I'm basically just kind of cutting in a little bit, but the water is right there, right on the other side of this ridge. So we can do a little inland flying. But I'm gonna head south, and then when I head down the south end, well, you can land anywhere in the bush, but when I do Papua New Guinea, I mean, they have a million of those little tiny airstrips, and that's really where you want to fly. But yeah, it depends. If you have a plane that's got big wheels and can land on any kind of flat surface, or like my gyrocopter can land on a flat surface, helicopters can land anywhere. Yeah, this would be a fun place to do, but I'm going to be landing. This is pretty. It definitely does not look like Hawaii, although it has some similarities. It looks really old. The double ender, yeah, that I don't have that one. Oh, by the way, Hobie Gal, if you're still here, we're in high signs. We're in the Gran Canaria island, the big one, well, there's two. There's Tenerife, which is over there. That's Tenerife, and then this is Gran Canaria in the Canary Islands. I just hadn't been here in a while, and the other day I was watching some streamers, and they were at a resort right here at the south end of the Gran Canaria Island, and it looked pretty nice. It looked really hot this time of year, and I was like, you know, islands are always fun to fly around in, and it's a really great island. The other thing is, if you want to have time, you could fly due east and hit Morocco, but that's a flight too. I mean, it's just a flight in between Tenerife and this island, but it's very dramatic. I just feel like this island is a little more weathered and older looking than the Hawaiian Islands, but I don't know. I mean, it depends which island you're talking about. This side of the Canary Islands is, yeah, no, the double ender is great. I should get it. It's got pusher and a puller. I mean, it is fun. I feel like I have so many planes, and this is my P-38L Lightning. P-38. Like how we're running today. Checking my instruments. Everything looks good. Fuel is good. What does this thing here do? Low fuel check. Does it turn on a light or something? If you have low fuel, or is it buzz? I should find out. What are these things? Oh, show tablet. I forgot we have a tablet. And it's got all these things in it, including an autopilot. And a bunch of other stuff in here. So you could turn on a Garmin, got a gun sight. Interesting. Realism, dynamic engine stresses. There's a bunch of stuff in here I don't do. I know. What's more? Hey, I have way more planes than guitars. Honestly, I have more room for planes. Wait a minute. I think I'm about to fly into the ground here. All right, let's turn this off. Okay, and this is high intelligence. I'm learning stuff. I forgot it has this. That's why we're checking these out. Okay, there's a big resort there. In fact, I missed it. I want to fly over it. And we're gonna jump out and check it out. So, sorry, you're asking for, since you're asking these questions, if you go anywhere, you'll be able to see terrain. Yes, anywhere in the world, the entire world, Antarctica to Antarctica. Not all parts of the world are mapped with the same level, and this is a fairly high one. Like if you travel over parts of the world which are kind of, not normally flown over, like North Korea, it doesn't look very good. But you can fly in everywhere, and there's always terrain because that's based on satellite mapping of the ground. But what's mapped, the visual that's mapped to the terrain may or not be thing. But in many places, in addition, there's these these two canyons, and each one at the end of the canyon has a really intense set of resorts. And kind of this way down here. And then this one, okay, that has more like a boat dock, and then there's another resort on this side. You see all the pools. This is starting to look pretty cool. Right here. But yeah, no, that's the freedom of Microsoft Flight Simulator. You go anywhere you want in the world, and I've been everywhere. I feel like I've been everywhere. But again, there's certain areas like if you download a package that says something like Tokyo Landmarks, Tokyo's gonna look much better than it would in base game. I think this is pretty much standard. Okay, look at that. That's another fancy resort. I think so. The south end of this island is kind of where the fancier, and there's dozens and dozens of them, or hundreds probably. Well, it's been around for 45 years, and I played the very first Microsoft Flight Simulator. Hold on a second here. The very first Microsoft Flight Simulator was on an Apple II computer, and it didn't really have any visuals. What it had was basically instrument flying. There was kind of a visual, but your plane was just a dot, and you really couldn't tell where it was. That was an Apple II. But we were amazed because you could still kind of simulate the experience of flying on a computer, and it was incredible. But then ever since then, they were like, oh yeah, next version of Microsoft Flight Simulator will actually be able to see out the window of your plane to see what you're looking at. And they have improved ever since, but they are, it is getting amazing. I think there's room to go for it to get even more. Got a lot of people on that beach there. For it to get even more, even more realistic. But yeah, they've made huge strides in the last couple of years. Now, the other thing that you might ask yourself is, do you need a kind of a special computer to run this? You don't need a special computer, but since I do this as my main streaming thing, this computer I just got in March this year, and it's a CyberPower PC that's been spec'd by me personally to be very fast at Microsoft Flight Simulator. Yes, exactly. For a lot of parts of China. Some parts of China are okay, but North Korea, China, a lot of Russia, and just a lot of other parts of the world, Central Africa, a lot of parts of Africa. There's satellite pictures and there's terrain data, but the game has to infer if something is a tree, looks like a tree from the air, then make a tree, or if it looks like a building, then make a building. Otherwise, you'll just get very flat images from above. But you can see here, most of the time, it can figure out that there's a building there, and it's not done by a human being. It's done by the computer AI. All right, this is the next airport.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
She wants to. I think this is a golf course, because it looks like a golf course. It looks like an 18-holer too. That's a big one. So yeah, I think a lot of the resorts are down here. And again, I say there's so many resorts. There actually are some cheap ones. I mean, I think if you didn't want to stay, but you can see, look, everything down here looks like a resort is a resort, and probably a pretty name brand one, like a Hilton or, something like that, Madison or something. And some of these are probably not resorts, but are probably villas that you can rent. But yeah, resort kind of things, or time-sharing style things. It's a really cool looking area. And then that is some serious sand dunage. Are the new versions updates? Technically, they're sort of a different game. Like, they just came out with Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, and a lot of people are wondering, is that just going to be an update to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020? And it's not. You got to buy a new game, and you can keep 2020 installed. Boy, that's a whole bunch of resorts. You can keep 2020 installed, and I do. Some people, have removed it. Comic Crazy has removed it, but I could still, if I ever wanted to play Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, I could. And it does share some things, some planes, but it also has differences. It's pretty similar. So, I mean, if somebody was starting off, I just say get 2024. They have been updating 2020. So they came out with a sim update like 6.13 or 14 not that long ago. So they're still updating 2020, and they're still supporting the marketplace. It seems kind of wasteful to me. I think eventually they're going to have to support, cut down support on 2020. Because it seems like there's a lot of effective overlap there. I'm going to scout this airport because I think we can land here. Now, if you look in the distance, that's where we took off from. So we have completely circumnavigated this Gran Canaria Island. But you can see again, resorts, just line resorts. This is a pretty small looking airport, El Barrial. And the weird thing about it is it also a race course? It looks to me like they have road racing on it as well, and that's why it's got those weird things. That happens a lot, and I think there's also a kind of a mini golf racing course there. But we're gonna check it out because we're landing there. And here's where they have your wind turbines. We saw a lot of wind turbines on Tenerife, the other big island. Yeah, well, I'm on Windows 11. Yeah. So, I mean, things move forward. But again, it's basically a new computer that I got specifically to be able to stream and play Microsoft Flight Simulator at the same time. But I didn't, when I bought it, I didn't get a new, GPU. So I am saving it for a new GPU, and I think that will help speed things up, especially if a lot of the planes that are more resource intensive. This is like in a little industrial area down here. This looks like power generation. It looks like they have wind, and then they also generate power using, typically gas and petroleum products here, oil. Coal would probably be wasteful to bring on to send to the island. There's a power center. I bet there's a couple of power stations on this island. But it's diversified. They got wind. You'd think they'd have a lot of solar because it's a very sunny part of the world. All right, there's the airport over here. We're gonna have to start preparing for landing, and by that I mean set flips 2, reduce power. You see the gear is flopping out there at the bottom. I just have it's waiting a little bit, and then they kind of lock. So we have gear lock indication. Where is it? I don't even know where gear lock indication is. I should learn that someday. Well, I think it's over. Well, that's the gear lever. Anyway. All right, so now we're going to slow down a bit. So you can see we're flaps 2, gear 1, making a little approach here. Just got to watch our... But when we get out of the plane, I'm gonna look around. It might not be harder to see, but I'm looking around this airport. I think there's a couple of little like racetracks. I think it's actually always used maybe more as a recreational kind of place than an actual airport. All right, mixture up. What's our speed? Around 99 is a good approach speed. So I'm reducing RPM a little bit here. You see the propeller slow down a bit there. Looks like we got a little wind that's coming there, so we're going to be crabbing this way a little bit. What's our speed? 106. That's good. We want to set our trim.
1551. Contact ground on 121.7.
A little more power. Here, I mean, it's not too bad from here. I think it's a pretty short runway. But we can stop pretty quickly, I think. 94. Idling the engines. Nice and smooth. Hit the brakes. Got a short runway. Brakes are hit. Got a short runway. Hello, steering. Not steering. Some steering here. That's alright. Yeah, so you can see here, I mean, we're on this place, you can see there's like what looks like these curved roads here. I think that's a racetrack. But the other thing I was noticing was over here, it looks like there's another, yeah, we had some serious winds. There's another kind of racetrack that's kind of not, that doesn't cross the runway. So I don't know what kind of things they race over here, but it's interesting. It's just a little GA airport. I want to go back to the building over there. Yeah, well, as I say, you know, airports represent sometimes that kind of effectively a valuable piece of real estate that's nice and flat. And if they're not you know, if there's not a lot of planes coming in, and there is a major airport nearby, you know, not an international airport. This is just for GA, general aviation, so you can see it's just a few little planes here. They want to use that land for something. Well, they put a little race course in there and have people, you know, have it, use it for racing. It's also because, you know, airports, it can be kind of noisy, and so can race courses, racetrack, you know, race cars. So the fact that the race cars are noisy is not a problem. It's an airport. People expect it to be noisy. All right, we're going to do that there. We're going to park our little P-38 Lightning right there. We're going to undo our canopy locks. And again, the fun thing to do is to try, is when you forget to lock the canopy and you take off, the canopy flies, it kind of shakes and opens and makes these banging noises and then flies off. It's kind of fun, which apparently really do. And the reason why is because when the canopy opens, you see it's just right in the wind, you know, and it's got that little thing. So should it open or should you try to go more than 40 knots, that little thing will go flying off. All right, we're also going to open up the winders. There's your right winder. Here's your left winder. Okay, shutting down the engines is a matter of shutting your mixture down and turn off the generators, which is right here. Generators, alternators. Turning off the magnetos. We'll take a little screenshot. The ignition off. We still have lights on because I have the battery on, so you can still see. Actually, I don't have landing lights on, but you can see the nav lights, right? Where am I at? Wing lights bright. Oh, yeah, landing lights. Wait a minute. Landing lights should be on. Yeah, they're on. And those are in right engine. So I'm wondering, where are the landing lights? Are they on the... Oh, they're on okay, they're just on the left wing. That's it. And they're on pretty bright right now. Okay, got it. Cool. It's just a beautiful simulation. The gun heater. I mean, there's a bunch of things in here. Yeah, there's a bunch of switches in here. Compass. Actually, we probably wanted that. Compass power on. But the gun heater. It's in-op means it doesn't do anything. But yeah, typically if the gun could freeze in certain conditions. Like if you're flying through a crowd, it gets wet, and then you fly into a regime. You know, you fly further up. The gun will ice over it. If you try to fire it in that situation where there's ice in the barrel, it could explode. I mean, it could, you know, the bullets will explode rather than just forcing their way through the ice. Oh, how very nice of you. Hold on a second here. So yeah, you don't want to do. So you need the gun heater on, but it's also similar to a pitot tube heater, which is down here. The pitot tube is, yeah, there's no, right. There's no real weapons. I mean, all you really get are, you know, you don't get bombs, but you get drop tanks, which are fuel. It's sort of like a bomb. You notice underneath, actually, I don't have them. I don't have the drop tanks because I guess I turned them up. But it's possible to have drop tanks inside the wings there. Yeah, very charitable. That comes every single day at the exact same time from a different person. You know, it's pointless to ban them because it's a different count every time. But I'm like, well, I don't know. I think they target, people with less than 10 viewers. But yeah, I'm the last person in the world. Oh, can we put our flaps up? I think the engines are off. So yeah, the flaps are down, and you can't adjust them up because realistically speaking, there's no hydraulic pressure because the engines are off, which is cool. I like that. But you know, I'm not going to be purchasing viewers. I don't care. I don't want viewers. Go away. Oh yeah, I was going to say again, if you come in here, there's the tablet. I wanted to take another look at it while we're here. Okay, so you got the checklist. That's pretty handy. Okay, your speeds, knots and miles an hour, which is pretty cool. What is never exceeds 365 knots. Stall speed flaps, full flaps is 60. So I'm saying what is the, again, rotation? They're saying 70 knots. It's all useful information. So live data, this can tell you what's going on in your plane in a bunch of different areas. Stats, this shows kind of for our flight, G-forces, speeds that we did. Kind of interesting that it kind of records that RPM over the last and it's still operating. Loadout is you can do the do your tanks right here. Kind of cool. It's again didn't have an autopilot, but using this tablet you can engage an autopilot just if you wanted to. And then I believe you can cause failures or something from here, but I don't really know specifically. Can I explain how flaps? By the way, yes, how flaps work. Yeah, flaps are usually they're extensions on the back of the plane that are controllable in certain things. You can see they're down 2 positions. There's a 3rd position there, and they're used during takeoff and landing to increase the lift of the wing, and that allows you to, as I was mentioning, the stall speed is lower when the flaps are down, meaning you can go slower without going so slow that the wings stop producing enough lift to keep you in the air, which is a very dramatic thing that happens in planes. Once you stall, you're not going to recover even if you give it full power. You can't just power your way out of stall. Usually you're dead at that point. So the flaps are needed. Most planes, not all planes have flaps. I have a couple that don't have flaps, like the Concorde and a flying wing. But you wouldn't want the canopy open while you're trying to land, but you have the flaps down, and you really need them because they mean you can land at a kind of much slower speed than you'd be able to if you didn't have flaps. In an emergency, if you didn't have flaps, you could still land the plane, but it'd be very dangerous, very fast, and too fast, and you need a lot more speed, room to stop the plane since you're going too fast. So yeah, they're just something that a pilot is aware of, particularly during takeoff and landing. And obviously, once you've taken off, pretty much as soon as you bring up the gear, you're going to bring up the flaps too, because the flaps are yes, they're producing lift, but they're also producing drag, so you can't go. Flaps. It depends. There could be 4 positions on a flaps, or some planes have a takeoff position and a landing position, which is half flaps for takeoff and full flaps for landing. And some planes have a takeoff position and a landing position and a kind of an emergent, kind of a full flaps, which you don't always need. Some planes have a variable flap system, like the F-86. You can set it to 0 degrees and anything up to 30 degrees, and you set it by moving a lever, and then the flaps move by an electric motor to any position you want. So the flap systems can be very different. And then some planes like a Concorde and like the German bomber, flying wing bomber, don't have flaps, and it means when they land, you got to land at a high angle of attack, because there's no flaps, but you have these giant wing surfaces that you have to use. So when you land certain planes that don't have flaps, you're generally using a big wing, like it's a flying wing, or like a Concorde has a giant delta wing, and those act as aerodynamic surface. But it's really getting beautiful. We're getting the sunset here. We're vibing out on that sunset. We're going to walk around a little bit here. It's post-sunset. I got the lighting on. We got the ocean, the beautiful Atlantic Ocean there. I'm going to try to take a nice picture here. My California cutie, which I'm not sure is Twitch safe, but we'll see. It's fine. Or YouTube. But I've flown it before. It's fine. So far, I haven't got banned. All right, there's go. That's about as... I want to get a little bit of sky here. There we go. It's another pretty spot. Anyway, I just fly random places. I don't really fly anywhere in particular, but we sure been over the pyramids and all the famous parts of the world many times, and we're gonna keep doing it. I'll be keep flying around even more. But for today, I think I'm gonna call that a flight. It was pretty interesting. I mean, I did enjoy it. And I do want to get moving along. I kind of have a streaming schedule, as it were, in which I fly around the first part. That we do some big brain games. Yeah, all the wonders of the world. Well, you know, actually, there's only one wonder of the world that still exists, which is the Great Pyramid. So that's kind of the ancient wonders of the world. That's the only one. But there's plenty of wonders of the world. I mean, we just went. Victoria Falls is one of the wonders of the world, and we've been going there because I bought a beautiful of the ancient wonders of the world: the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, the Colossus of Rhodes, the pyramids, blah blah blah. I forget what they are, but only the pyramids still exist. It's not just the wonders of the world. It's the ancient wonders. But the pyramids is one of them. There's seven. It's called. There's 7 ancient wonders of the world. Hanging Gardens of Babylon. I don't know what they are. You can look it up. Maybe there are 8. I forget what it was. But again, if it's, you know, the Colossus of Rhodes was this giant statue over a bay that actually existed, and it was like hundreds of feet high or something. But you know, eventually fell over and it's gone. The pyramids haven't fallen over, but they're roughly, you know, they're even older than most of the other ancient. The ancient wonders of the world. All right, let's move along. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna switch category, and after the big brain games, we're gonna transform the spot into Ken's Piano Lounge, and I'll be playing piano. So they could well be, apparently. Well, they could be. They're either portals to aliens or landing pads, because the bottom of the alien ship are shaped like inverted pyramids. Which they kind of were going for in the Fifth Element, if you've ever seen the opening of the Fifth Element. All right, main menu here. We're going to play some big brain games. I do this every time. Let me get out of Microsoft Flight Simulator. But again, it will become Ken's Piano Lounge. I'm going to sit my piano right down here. It'll be kind of mellow. It's nice for the European viewers. They get more of that evening, piano lounge vibe, hopefully, from my tunes. 2 different lists. Anyway, let me bring out my big brain games here. Just gonna launch these right here. And give me 1 second here. While I'm here, I'll launch the big brain game. It's what I like to do is play a Quirtle. We'll play a game called Revealed. Well, you'll see in the order that they do. But since I do these games, these are like free puzzle games you get on the internet every single day. I do these every day just to kind of make sure the brain is functioning and in a reasonable state, and maybe to challenge myself a little bit. So let's see. This could be. There's an ancient wonders and there's a new wonders of the world. Correct. The new wonders of the world are all things that you can visit, and but the ancient wonders of the world were the original ones. Anyway, let's see what we got here. Let's see. Is this going to be equal on the upper left? Can it be anything else? I don't think it can. Let's see. This could be let's see. It's not. It could be lofty. I think there's something else it could be, but we're going to try lofty for the low right. Okay, good. The F was not helpful. Upper right, I mean, it could be tacit. It could be some other things. All right, we're just going to run through this. This is the easy one. This one here could be stunt or shunt. We'll guess shunt first. We got an extra guess. Yeah, it was stunt. That's all right. It could have been shunt. They're both perfectly good 5-letter words. We're going to Quirtle. We're going to do the Revealed. We're going to do the tightrope trivia game. There are 2 of the Octortles, which 8 words at the same time. There'll be a short break, and then we'll continue with Mike with Ken's Piano Lounge. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to all this stuff. I really enjoyed the flying, but I still want to get back to my Osprey, which is pretty new. All right, so it's a science and tech. We like the category. The first word has 7 letters. The second word has 4. So it's a 7 and a 4-letter word to solve this one. We get this heavily redacted document, which I'm going to be reading out loud, because the trick of this game is to figure out which of these dark things we should reveal to give us the hints that we're going to need, because we're going to need hints. But let me just read this. Okay, so what we're looking for, blank, is any of various blank. See you mañana. I'll be all thanks for dropping in, and I hope you're enjoying your trip and take lots of pictures. Okay, blank is any of various blank or blank something formed by the blank and blank of blank blank material. Blank constitute one of the blank principal blank of blank, the others being blank and blank. Blank are formed from the blank of blank, which is a blank or partially blank something material. Blank is blank predominantly of a large blank of something with a very thin blank of blank material, namely blank something. I don't know. No, not volcano lava. You can guess as much as you want. Let's do a reveal. Blank, principal blank, the others being... I bet this is form... I want to look at this. Sedimentary. So is it types of rock? Is it like igneous? Was that wrong? Sedimentary, igneous. What's this one here? Metamorphic. So, and what is this? As a G. So it must have been igneous, but I spelled it wrong. Yeah, I don't think that's spelled right. I'm just going to do a small amount of cheating to see if I can spell it right. Yeah, E-O-U-S, so that's not right. E-O-U-S. But it's not lava. It was igneous rock. Okay, we got that one. I have occasionally gotten it with 0 reveals. It does happen. Yeah, I think it happened Wednesday because I do this every single day. So anyway, the point is we did 2. I mean, the 2 reveals, and again, these are where the trick is. You happen to know there's 3 principal. I already knew there was 3 principal classes of rocks. I didn't know, and so I didn't need that. But metamorphic and sedimentary are the other 2 besides igneous. It's just something I studied in school, I guess. Geology, I think. That you should know. So, the reveals were enough. In fact, metamorphic really gave me the answer. So I needed 2 reveals and 1 hint. That's a letter hint. Other players needed 5.5 reveals and 2.1 hints on average. 72% solved it mostly. It wasn't that hard. And you can see here a picture of a rock. So just in case you were wondering what the answer was. All right, we're moving along to the tightrope trivia. Now, the tightrope trivia is a 9-question timed multiple choice trivia game that is available every day on this Britannica.com website. And I consider myself a trivia master. I did forget the spelling. Spelling of the word igneous is rough on me. I know. But this, we are getting harder. It starts, Mondays is the easier quiz. This is the second and the third to the hardest. Tomorrow's the second to the hardest quiz. And again, 9 questions. You can get up to 2 wrong and still complete it, but I like to get them all right. But you know what I'm saying? It's trivia. Sometimes you get them right. But as soon as I hit that play button, the timing starts, and timing is a very big part of your score. Like the faster you get it, as well as right. So, and that's why I like to go fast. So we're going to go, it started. In Twilights. Okay. I like Twilight actually. In Coming Center, he became blank. Complacent. Okay. Vocabulary. I usually get those pretty easily. But, some of these are definitely not going to be in my wheelhouse. Eider down and feathers from the eider, which is what kind of bird? It's a duck. Duck down. English Kong in School of Rock was made a video best. It must have been Jack Black, right? He was in School of Rock. And that makes the most sense there. I like Jack Black. Okay, I'm glad I got that one. It was the Iran hostage crisis. I was around in 1979 too, so you know what I mean. Home rule government. Greenland is part of the kingdom of Denmark, and that's been in the news recently, so nobody should get that one wrong. Larry Purz backlinks and later rebranded as Google. Backrub. Yeah, imagine if Google was called Backrub. Working in a factory. Well, the author is Charles Dickens. These are easy today. So far, maybe the last one's hard. Disney's filmation musical shot and breathed with the original cast. Hamilton? Oh my god, because that could have been Wicked. All right, but it took a little extra time to kind of guess on that one. At least I was right. Okay, we got them all right. We kicked ass on the trivia today. Check my score out. It should be as high as you can go. 2,200 is what needed to get to the clever funambulist level, which we kicked ass to. We got there. So that's the highest ranking you get. No, I don't know what a funambulist is. Do I do chat trivia? Chat trivia. I think I know what that is, but no. This is what I do. But whew, I got to celebrate my high ranking on the trivia today. I know some other streamers who later in the day, they're going to go online. They don't watch my stream, so won't be cheating. They're going to go online and they're going to do the trivia and you know, other game, but specifically this one. They're going to be like, how'd you do today, Ken? And I'll be like, today I got them all right. All right, let's move on. But you know, it's the nature trivia. Okay, I like to wind down with 2 octurals. That's where we solve 8 of these 5-letter word games at the same time. Again, it's different every time, pretty much, because the words are random. But I use the same 3 starting words, at least on this one. Well, let's see what we got here. Is this gonna be spasm over there? Probably. And then let's see what we got here. This one here on the lower right looks like 7 to me. It wasn't. That's all right. It was sheen. Okay. That's all right. We needed that H2. All right. This one here on the lower left at this point is nymph. So anyway, I've just been doing these games for years, so I kind of have these patterns come pretty quickly to me. I don't want to spend all day doing this. THIGH, thigh, upper left. Oops. Fits there. The G is used down here, which is kind of cool. And there is a U. And the N has to go somewhere in here. And it's not suing because the G is there. There's an N. And where'd the I go? In something GU. I think there has to be a vowel after the G. What else could it be? So it could be UNGI. Oh yeah, it could be fungi. I think it is fungi. All right, sometimes it takes a couple minutes, but I did eventually come around to that one. This one here is going to be FI something TY. So let's try 50. And we got, okay, we have an L and an H to place, right? And that's it. It just could be hilly, right? Hilly. Let's try that. Okay, we got one more of these games, by the way. One more of these octorals. But we only have one word left, and it's this one here. And all we know is there's an L, and it's not in the middle. It could be dowel. Let's try dowel. It was dowel. All right, we're down to the last of the big brain games. It's called the rescue. It's a lot like the other octorals, except instead of me able to use my 3 powerful starting words, you got to use the 4 starting words that it randomly assigns to you. For example, it doesn't have a Y or U, and they're just stupid random words, which is fine. But that's the challenge. The challenge is, can you still win? This one here, we have lower left. We have an N, S, A, and an I, as well as the L. So we have all the letters needed. But what is it? Snail. I'm thinking. All right, there's 2 L's there and no vowels. So, okay, well, it's U-L-L-Y, but it still could be fully or what else could it be besides fully? Dully. Let's try fully. Yeah, that was a good guess. All righty, we're moving along. Soon the big brain games will be completed for the day, but they'll be streaming tomorrow, and it'll be very similar. Very similar, just different content and subtlety. All right, what do we got here? W-A-R and an E. Oh, and an F. So we have all 5 letters, right? Yeah, we do. Could it be wafer? I think it could be wafer. Nice. All right, we're making some progress. We got 3 down, 5 to go. Okay, now this is also good. We have an E and an L, and an E and an F to place. We know where the S and the L is, and it could be shelf. E, yes. Oh, there's an L and F, but right. Oops, I misspelled it. I'm pretty sure that's gonna be shelf. So the H was revealed there, and it's used up here. And so this one on the upper right has to be shyly. That's good. All right, we got 3 down and 4 guesses. We're doing pretty well. This one here is, okay, we know that S is there, so it's blank or blank ST, and there's a U. So R-U-S-T, but what would that be? Trust. Or it could be crust, C-R-U-S-T. Oof. All right, so that one's crust or trust. Let's hold off a while. Maybe one of these other words will have a C in it. Let's just see here. I don't think so. This one has the A-T. There's an E, an L, and a P. So that's going to be leapt, L-E-A-P-T. We have all the letters in that one, and really only one word that's going to fit. All right, so what do we got? We got 6 and 1. So we have this one here. So it could be, let's see, dinky. No, it's just we're going to guess dinky. I don't know if that word is in there. Yeah, it wasn't dinky, but that's all right. We have an extra guess, and the D and the K were both useful letters. So what is it? Ginny? Can't be minty. It has to use... I don't think Ginny is a word. Oh, ninny, N-I-N-N-Y. I'm 100% sure. It's going to be ninny. I hate that word, but it's going to be there. 3 N's. Who needs that? All right. Well, we still have one guess. And again, it's either trust or crust. What do we say? Let's guess crust. But it's 50-50. So close. It was trust. That's all right. I forgive myself. I don't get them all. I get about 50% of these, and that's the hard one. Trust me when I tell you. You try it yourself. That's a hard game. Hey, I still plenty of Diet Coke though. But you guys know what that means. If you've been here before, you know what that means, which is it is time to switch over to the musical category. I'm going to have to take a few minutes to do everything in. I'm switching over from just chatting to music. Welcome to, hopefully in a few minutes, I'll be saying welcome to Ken's Piano Lounge, because that's what I'll be saying, you know what I'm saying? And you can enjoy it. Do a crossword. You know, I kind of, you know, it's a segment, and it is what it is, but that's about as much time as I like to devote to the big brain games. But I do the rest of these Quirtles and the rest of these Octurtles. There's 5 of them every day. I do them later in the day. I do a lot more games. Crosswords, there's a few I like, but they tend to be time consuming, and I'm like, you know, whatever, you know. But for as far as, you know, something packaged for the stream, that's pretty much what I do. But I do consistently every day, and kind of consistently between the two, the flying and the music segment. All right, so we're in the music category. I'm gonna run my mid roll, and on the other side, you should see we should see the piano and everything getting going. So stick around for that if you'd like. camera here. I like my overhead view of my keyboard to be just like I like it, around there. You can see me play. You can watch me play. All right, let's see what is happening here. A little warm up here. Second to roll things over. There we go. Perfecto. Anyway, welcome to Ken's Piano Lounge. What is Ken's Piano Lounge, you may ask? You may not. But what it is literally, it says there, Lounge Act song list. It's a list of songs. I mean, there's a whole bunch of them. I mean, there's a few that are not listed here, and there's a few I don't play anymore on this list. But basically, it's a list of songs that I have memorized. I don't have new notes or words or music or anything in front of me. I just have to be able to sit down and say a little prayer, Natalie Cole version. Anyway, welcome to Ken's Piano Lounge. If it's appropriate, pour yourself an adult beverage. I'm just having Diet Coke, but it's close enough. It's a little too early for me to start drinking. It's only 1 p.m. where I am, but please enjoy yourself, relax. We're gonna be playing for a while. Next song is called "Breaking Us in Two" by Joe Jackson. It goes like this. I got song. That's the hardest one I play, by the way, technique wise. Hey, Charles. I'm good. Little flash dance. All right, next song is Girl from Ipanema. Hope you're doing well everywhere you are. Here's a little Todd Rundgren song. Just One Victory. I'll play a bunch more songs. How about this one? Ready? A few more songs. Why not? Actually, quite a few more. Thank you. Hi, good to see you. Thank you. Just enjoy yourself. Good to see you too. Yeah. By the way, it's counting down the days. Hopefully, I'll be seeing Bella in person again. I mean, I saw her last year real briefly, but hopefully a little more in person because she says she's coming to TwitchCon. I don't know her exact plans, but no, I figure it is what it is. Hope to see her and the other people I like to see every year at TwitchCon. Charles and everyone else is going to be there, and should be quite a party. And I expect to do some streaming from the TwitchCon floor. I don't know how much, like 20 minutes a day. I plan on being all 3 days, but not necessarily for long. But so, and that's October 17th, I think, coming up pretty soon. Pretty excited about that. All right, let's play some more music here for the Piano Lounge segment. What do we got here? Hope so. I don't think so. I'll look it up later. Thanks for the suggestion. That's "You Are the Sunshine of My Life" by Stevie Wonder. You are the sunshine of my life. That's why I'll always be around. You are the apple of my eye. I can't sing it. That's why I'll always be around. I feel like this is the beginning. Though I've known you a million years. I never sing it. I don't really memorize the lyrics, but because I like the tune. But that's a really famous tune. Yeah, it's a little harder to recognize if you don't hear the guy singing it. But that's the way it is. Misty. Anyway, that's the centerpiece of a lounge piano act. If you're going to play lounge piano in Vegas someplace, sit down, you better be able to play Misty and some of these others like Girl From Me Be Named. But yeah, that's kind of the centerpiece I consider, which is why I kind of play it in the middle. Let's see, what do we got else here? Also, Paul Williams, We've Only Just Begun. For the Carpenters. Yeah, what's Misty? Thank you. one of the 2 Carpenter songs I like to do. This one isn't on my list, but I've been doing it. It's called Drops of Jupiter by Train. It's a great song. I'm just doing an instrumental version of it. Very well. Good question. I learned all these songs by ear. Song. Drops Through by Train. It's actually got a great, it's really a piano song too. I mean, it's got a whole bunch of stuff going there. I might have a few more songs to do. This song is called Can You Read My Mind? By the way, you started learning 5 months ago. Yeah, I've been started learning 50 years ago. But, you know, I was actually pretty good within the first 10 years. You know, it wasn't like I just started getting good recently. I've been a pretty good piano player since in my 20s. You know, people were like, oh, you can play piano. So, I mean, I've got a little better since then, but mainly just learned more songs and more techniques. But, you know, it didn't take that long to learn to play this well. I just play a lot because I want to keep my skills up. 1977. That's Superman the movie, the original Christopher Reeve movie. And all that music in the movie is by John Williams, including, I haven't seen the new one yet. It is a beautiful melody. John Williams, the same one who wrote Star Wars and every other movie, you know, big movie. He wrote, I'm pretty sure he wrote the tune, and he wrote that whole song. I don't think he wrote the lyrics. There's lyrics. Can you read my mind? Can you read my mind? Do you know what it is I'm thinking of? Don't know who you are. Just a friend from another star. You can fly, you belong to the sky. You and I could belong to each other. Anyway, it's got a, you know, it's not really that well known song. Oh, well, I'm gonna sing the song. I haven't seen the new one yet. I do want to see it. There's a man who leads a life of danger. With everyone he meets, he stays a stranger. Oh, with that the movie makes. Well, another chance it takes. Odds on he won't live to see tomorrow. Pretty faces you may find. A pretty face can hide an evil mind. Oh, be careful what you say. Don't give yourself away. Odds on you won't live to see tomorrow. Secret agent man, secret agent man. Well, they've given you a number and they've taken away your name. You're sunning in the Riviera one day, when bleeding in a Bombay alley next day. Oh, don't let the wrong word slip when kissing persuasive lips. Odds on you won't live to see tomorrow. Secret agent man, secret agent man. Well, they've given you a number and they've taken away your name. Look at it, agent man, secret agent man. This mysterious life you choose is a deadly game. Given you a number and they've taken away your name. Look at it, agent man, secret agent man. This mysterious life you choose is a deadly game. I do a few more standard songs here before we call it quits. Like this one, maybe we're not gonna sing it though. more sense. Still some Diet Coke left. It's getting kind of tan, but that's, you know, it's just the natural what happens when the ice melts. It's still cold. It has lost most of its fizziness. It still does the job. It's 2 hours later. It's been sitting in that glass for 2 hours, all right. It's doing its job. It's called Up, Up, and Away by Fifth Dimension. Yeah, I wish. Or rum would be better. Yeah, he still is. I was going to say that. John Williams is still with us. I think he still does movies. Yeah, really. Good to see all you guys. Thank you, Circus Tuna, for dropping in. All right, that's going to be it for today. But hey, lots more streaming happen in the future. There I am. Take this off. Please. An hour of wearing headphones, man. It's about all I can handle. You know, it's just the way headphones are. But hey, lots of people came in and said hi. Lots of people enjoyed the music. We're enjoying the flight simulator. It was a really popular segment. Fridays are a pretty popular day. But hey, the reason why I don't like to go too long is I like to save my energy for future streams. You know, rather than wiping myself out and being really tired the next day. I'm looking forward to tomorrow's stream already. We're gonna be flying around. We're gonna do the big brain games. Tomorrow will be guitar day. I'll probably whip out one of my other 10 guitars I have, or 15 or so. I can't even count them these days. It's more than 15. And there's one on the wall there. Maybe I'll take the Stratocaster off the wall and play that one instead of the PRS CE 24, which I've been playing. I don't know, I look forward. That's one of the fun things about playing Guitar Day. I mean, I play the same piano on Piano Day, but I play a different guitar on Guitar Day, so it gives me a whole variety and excitement to there. But I do want to say cheers again. A lot of people came by and said hello. I start pretty much the same time every time I start, which is 5 days a week. I start my time at 11:30 a.m. Pacific time. I don't know what time you're in, but you might be in Pacific. If you're a comic crazy, you're in the same time. But I try to be very consistent with my start time. That makes it easy to know if I'm streaming or not. But again, we'll be doing more tomorrow. Who knows? Except that it'll be since I alternate the guitar and the keyboard. That's the only thing I can say with certainty is that tomorrow will be some kind of guitar performance. I'll be looking forward to singing. I'm practicing for the in-person karaoke performances that usually occur during the TwitchCon, either out in public or in our private setting. We do a lot of karaoke stuff during the TwitchCon thing, so I'm looking forward to that. Should be fun. One of the fantastic e-girls I stays with me, Leah Ayame, has the most fantastic singing voice. One of the most fantastic singing voices I've ever heard. She's got such an amazing voice, and I keep encouraging her to sing, and she's a little shy about it. I don't think she realizes how good a singer she is. She has this incredible natural voice. So when she sings karaoke, everyone else is outclassed. Me, everyone else, and by a large amount. So, but it's exciting and fun when she sings, because everybody's like, "What the hell?" She's also super gorgeous. If you've never seen Leah Ayame, she's insanely good looking. So that's what makes it's going to be fun. Makes me really look forward to the TwitchCon next month. Driving down to San Diego, I'm going to take one of my pianos with me, small piano. I'm going to take a guitar with me and this amplifier here, because I'm not going to leave my musical instruments behind and not have fun playing musical instruments on my 1 week vacation. But again, it's so I can, plus I'll bring my, I've got these mics for karaoke mics that have little amplifiers and they're pretty cool. All right, gotta go. I'm running with my outro. I'm gonna watch some streamers and play some marbles and just relax. Maybe read some of my emails from the afternoon. Probably not much happening at work. Technically, I'm still at work. I've got my emails in front of me. No emails came in during the performance that I have to answer, and that would be the only issue with an email came in with a question that I would have to answer. But no, nothing came in. So looks like I'm pretty much done with work till Monday. Woohoo! The weekend has officially started. Get out there and have fun or something like that.